So,
Yo, yo, yo.
how's it going?
It goes good. How's you?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. Pretty damn good as of like 2 days ago.
Oh, that's pretty specific.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Well, because 2 days ago that Spider-Man trailer dropped.
Right, right.
Yeah.
One that you were quite worried about.
Um, Incredibly worried,
Yes.
almost to the point of honestly, I was like, this is probably gonna fuck everything. This is gonna be the probably one of the worst Spider-Man movies ever. I had flashes of Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2. I was like, what is gonna happen here? Like this just can't be it. But
Right.
looks like that's how I'm gonna be now. Anyway, so after having watched the official trailer, I didn't watch the leaked CGI missing
Good
garbage
call.
trailer.
Good call. It looked like someone recording a video through someone else's phone.
Because, and here's why. Here's why. The second that the leaks happened, I knew that it was very quickly going to be followed by the official Sony leak.
Yeah.
There was no way that they were just going to go, oh, well, you guys already got a leaked trailer, so you guys can wait till November.
Yeah.
No. So I knew that. I knew that. Although the one trailer that James showed of in the theater,
yes,
that's a really good fake. That's a really good fake. Really good fake.
It is absolutely.
If it wasn't for that initial like showed you it was in a theater,
yeah,
I would have 100% been like, that's total fucking bullshit. That's total fucking bullshit. But that initial half a second, I was like, huh? And then of course I saw like the clips of Endgame and Charlie Cox's Daredevil, and I was like, oh, that's 100% fake, but a really good one. Now, as far as the official trailer, holy fucking shit! Oh.
Yes.
I mean,
yes. So good.
The worst part is like I feel like a bit of a jackass because it's like, so I never doubted Mr. Watson Company in Homecoming.
Yep.
Okay. But for some reason, I started to doubt them in No Way Home. And No Way Home was awesome. But this one, I was like, there's no way. There's no way that this is going to be as awesome as the previous two. You know, and part of it is Sony's track record. They tend to stumble once they get going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even the whole Doctor Strange being in it, we thought, okay, this is going to be like the second coming of Tony Stark. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. He's in it because he has to be in it because he's a vital part of the plot. Although, funny story, there's already a theory that Doctor Strange is in fact Mephisto.
Yeah, I've been reading that.
Because this does borrow from the One More Day story, or not? Is it One More Day? Yeah, that is it. One More Day.
One More Day. Yeah.
So you know, and it is something that I could see Mephisto doing, but my only rationale behind them not having Mephisto is that Mephisto is like the comic book embodiment of the devil. And I don't know if the MCU, like Marvel Universe, wants to actually acknowledge the devil in these movies.
Yeah, I mean, I would hang off to like, maybe a future Thor or a Ghost Rider or something. Like,
see, now Ghost Rider would be the perfect character to introduce Mephisto in.
Mephisto doesn't belong in Spider-Man. He's never belonged in Spider-Man. He felt out of place and weird in the Spider-Man comic book. Just out of the blue, making a deal with Peter Parker.
And Peter Parker willingly gives up his unborn daughter's soul.
Yeah. Yes.
Just so that he can get Aunt May back.
His elderly aunt.
And then they retcon pretty much, 20 years?
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah.
So needless to say, I am now officially 100% hyped. It's I can't wait. I couldn't wait to watch the movie, but now I can't wait for an opposite reason. Now I can't wait to see how good this is going to be. You know, like I was looking at the trailer going like, well, if they show his updated Stark suit or updated Iron Spider suit in motion, it'll probably look awesome, and I'll probably like it like I did the Iron Spider.
Yep.
Even though I still feel like the design is too much Iron Man.
Yep.
But whatever. Regardless, it looks nuts, and the amount of like people that are in the movie, and then the speculation, like we talked about last night, the speculation of Lizard.
Yeah.
Although, like I said, I've seen that. I watched that clip so many times. I can't make it
I've
out.
looked at the screenshot online that people are talking about, and I don't see anything Lizard related in there.
I feel like that one's a reach.
Spidey's costume's got some like tears where it could be claw marks, but
yeah, but it could be
reaching.
octopus tentacle scratches. You know,
it's like there was a shot where there was like a pile of sand, and everyone's like Sandman.
Yeah, exactly. And my first thought was, okay, like that could be possible to Sandman, and
yeah.
But like at this point now, I guess the question is, who isn't going to be in this movie?
That is 100% Willem Dafoe, though.
There's no way.
100%.
There's no way it isn't. There's no way it isn't.
The pumpkin bomb is identical. Oh yeah.
The pumpkin bomb being identical is fine, but because I don't know, because you could have said it could have been Harry, right?
You could have, but that is Dafoe's laugh. That is 100% Dafoe's laugh.
It's 100% Willem Dafoe, 100%.
And then Otto Octavius going, "Hello, Peter." Oh man, and he still looks so good. He still looks so good. Fucking, well, what's it going to be? 17 years later, and Alfred Molina is still the perfect Doc Ock.
Yeah, I feel really bad for when they do Doc Ock again.
Yeah.
Unless they take a page from Into the Spider-Verse and gender swap.
Right.
Because I think that would be, but then the problem is now how do you live up to Catherine Hahn?
Exactly.
And the answer is you don't. So maybe just cast her, get it out of the way.
But can you? I mean,
why not?
She's Agatha now.
So what?
We don't have two people playing two characters in the MCU.
Why not? Well, we're going to have three different Peter Parkers. We're going to have technically three different Spider-Men.
Yeah, but three different actors playing three different Spider-Men.
Okay, so what? Who cares?
Like Tobey Maguire's not playing Bucky.
But now it's part of the multiverse, so it doesn't fucking matter. Because part of the multiverse, now that everything's up for grabs. So Fantastic Four. So now you've got a Johnny Storm that looks exactly like the future Superman and also Captain America.
Yeah.
I mean, but all jokes aside and all geek ramblings aside, I have never been more pumped to see Spider-Man No Way Home than I am as of this moment. December can't come fast enough. It's ridiculous.
I haven't felt this excitement for Spider-Man period since Spider-Man 2. I love Into the Spider-Verse, but I never felt that and Homecoming.
I disagree because I was pumped for Spider-Man in Civil War.
Yeah.
I was
okay.
I was pumped for that movie, but I was pumped the second they showed that clip of Spider-Man flipping in.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I was like,
oh yeah, no, I was psyched for that, but I'm talking like Spider-Man movies as a whole.
And I was also super pumped for
right here.
Homecoming.
Yeah.
But I think at this stage we can safely say I'm more of a Spider-Man fan than you.
I would agree.
Because you haven't even watched Spectacular Spider-Man yet. I
haven't. And you're the one that's naming off all these random villains from Spider-Man 80s and 70s.
From any era, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Comic books.
Doesn't even matter. You know it.
Next thing you know, you'll be saying things like, hey, what about Exo Man of War? And I'll go, I actually don't know much about Valiant. I just know that it's part of the Valiant universe.
I can name off 3 characters. I can't name off their real names.
So we've got Exo Man of War.
Yeah.
We got Solar the Nuclear Man.
Right.
We've got Ninjak.
Yeah.
We got Magnus the Robot Fighter.
Okay, you're topping what I could have come up with.
Isn't Turok technically part of that universe too, Dinosaur Hunter?
I don't think so. I think they published it, but I don't think it's part of the universe.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
So yeah, okay, so that's 4.
Bloodshot.
Oh, right. Bloodshot. That's
Yeah.
right. So that's 5. So we would have been tied at 4 if that's the case.
Yeah, we would have.
Harbinger. That's right.
Right. Harbinger. Okay. So you taught me. You taught me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I got. I think that's all I got.
I think Valiant is one of the only companies I've never really paid any attention to.
No, me neither. Like,
I read more cross-gen than I did Valiant.
oh wow. And I've never read any. I'm familiar with Sojourn,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Sojourn, Sigel, Way of the Rat.
Oh, Sigil.
Yeah. El Cazador.
That's right. I remember that now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they had a lot of good titles.
That was a quick run for that that production house.
Yeah, well, Disney owns them.
Oh, so fuck them.
Disney bought it out and then just fucking.
Yeah. Wait, is there a company that Disney doesn't own? Oh, wait, point, Sony. Sony's the only one.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers.
1 year later, Disney buys out Warner Brothers and Sony.
Yeah, although now that Warner Brothers doesn't have James Bond was Sony. That's right. And MGM. That's right. Regardless, one of the things I actually really like about this trailer is everything feels very much like Spider-Man, like my Spider-Man. Like this feels like a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
It does.
Or like a Spectacular Spider-Man, where it's starting to feel more like this is something like the second he goes to Doctor Strange and he's like, hey, so what if no one knew my identity? And he's just like, okay, cool. I immediately was like, that is something that Peter would do. The line where he goes, it's not even about me, it's about my friends and my family. And it shows Ned getting interrogated and Aunt May getting interrogated. I was like, oh yeah, there we go. Like he's starting to grasp it. It's almost like up until this point, yes, he was Spider-Man, and yes, he got snapped, and yes, they fought the aliens to the death to save the world, but it never really clicked in how serious what he was doing really was until this moment.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, there's all this skepticism about how they were going to handle the identity leak, and I like that they led with that. This cute little scene with him and MJ, and then they immediately go right into it, and it's just like, wow, this is so crazy. And like I said the ending is going to give us a pretty good idea of what happens afterwards.
I agree.
I do feel, and Michelle said this, and I agree with her sentiment, that it's going to be, by the end of it, no one will know who he is. It'll go back to that. But I do feel like, I feel like he does tell somebody, but they'll save that for the next movie. So I feel like this is kind of putting the toys back where they were, so to speak. Right? So it's kind of like a retcon or a reset where they're going to leave it with Peter is back to being Spider-Man. My hope is that he's back into the red and blue suit, but he has no Tony Stark backing. You know what I mean? Like it's back to him being the poor kid who's got to make all his stuff. He's got to learn how to sew the suit up, that kind of shit. And then we'll see what happens for the next batch of movies.
I mean, it does open up some interesting things, right? Like, would Doctor Strange remember who he is?
Well, he says that's not how it works. So I would say no, he doesn't.
No. Okay, so what about the armor, the Stark stuff that he has? Would he still have it? And if he does still have it, would Happy be like, why does this kid have all the Stark tech?
Well, exactly. There's still a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny that they're like, oh, it's the teaser. And I'm like, that's a full-on trailer.
That was a full-on trailer. It was 3 minutes. It was longer than most trailers.
It was a
And it flew
full-on
by.
trailer,
It
and
flew by.
it showed a lot of cool shit,
Yeah,
but
and you know what?
not actually showing much of anything.
Exactly. They had Doc Ock in there for you to go, like the original Doc Ock, for you to go, okay, this is shit's getting real now. They didn't show. They
That
didn't
was the holy fuck for me, though.
Toby
That was
and
the holy
Andrew. They
fuck.
never showed them or hinted
They
at them.
won't. I don't think they will.
Though I guarantee that when Doc Ock went, "Hello, Peter," he was talking to Toby Maguire.
Yeah, I've read that as a theory as well, and
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
felt
that makes a
right
lot
off
of
the bat.
sense.
Right off the bat, I was like, "Oh, he's
'Cause-
talking to Toby."
Yeah, because like I mean, it would have more resonance
Yeah,
for him to say that, and I mean, Dr. Ock's a smart dude. He would realize that's not his Peter Parker.
exactly.
You know, oh man, like I just, and also the possibility of actually seeing a live action Sinister Six without having their own movie to start it off. What the fuck, guys? What were you thinking?
It's really exciting, though, the fact that they could use the multiverse to create a Sinister Six. Like, they don't all have to be. Yeah.
And then justify having 3 Spider-Man to take them down.
And that's awesome.
It's
awesome.
incredible awesome. I'm literally, I went from like a week ago, if you would have said, hey, no, Chris, trust me, it'll be great. I'd be like, yeah, but Toby's going to overshadow Tom. You know, Andrew Garfield's going to overshadow Tom. Now I'm looking at it like, no, they're going to compliment Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wasn't giving Tom a lot of credit. Tom's a phenomenal actor. Yep. I love that I'm saying Tom as if we're buddies. Mr. Tom Holland is an incredibly gifted actor.
Tommy.
You know, and yeah, Tommy. So, and he's done really good with what he's been given with Peter Parker and with Spider-Man. I still feel like the Russos should get a crack at him, though, because, oh, man. I hate to, like, I say the Russos can't do no wrong, but, I mean, can they really?
I don't know. But
regardless. So, like, they're going to – it's a compliment. It's going to be a torch passing.
Yep. And what about the fan theory?
One second. I don't necessarily think that it's going to be like a bookend for Toby and Andrew, because I know you keep saying you want like a bookend for it, but I don't feel that they need it because it's Spider-Man. He's always going to be fighting crime.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you do a bookend when you're not going to make Spider-Man movies anymore or superhero movies anymore. That's when you do a visual bookend. Even if you kill off Peter Parker, you're still going to introduce Miles at some point so that Miles can take over.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's one of the reasons why Into the Spider-Verse worked so well, was because they knew that we watched all the movies. They knew that we watched, like, we read the comic books, we watched the cartoons. So they knew that they could do a quick 30-minute or like a 30-second, 1-minute thing. Like, hey, I'm Spider-Man. I'm Peter Parker. I'm Mary Jane. I've been Spider-Man since I was this, and everything's great. And I'm awesome. Right. And then kill them off within the first 10 minutes of the movie. And everybody watched that and was like, oh my God, they killed off Peter Parker.
Yeah.
You know, and some people, I'm not going to name any names, might have got a little teary-eyed at the prospect of Peter Parker being killed off, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah. So I don't feel like there should be an ending just yet. What were you going to say? Theory? Fan theory?
Yeah. No, that scene where it looks like Tom's being interrogated, Tommy Boy, our buddy Tom.
Yeah.
And you see like the sleeve and everything come down.
Hollandaise sauce.
Matt Murdock?
I don't think so, because an interrogation scene with 2 people on either side, if it was a lawyer interrogation thing, it would be Tom on one side with his lawyer, and then the interrogators on the opposite side. But I do think that we will see Charlie Cox. We're not going to see Daredevil.
No, we will.
We're going to see Charlie Cox. We're going to see Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
And it might even be for 30 seconds. It might even be for a minute, but it's going to be fucking awesome.
Fuck yeah, it is. Oh, yeah.
So aside from, and like I said, I'm going to still use Moon Knight as a barometer for what I think that they're going to do with Daredevil. I hope that they don't change the costume too much. Specifically, I don't want to see any DD on there at all.
Yeah.
But other than that, if it looks, I mean, just do the same costume. I mean, for fuck's sakes, just do the same costume. But if you can't make it close to it, you know,
it's a perfect costume. I mean,
it's so good.
It's so good.
And real quick about Moon Knight, if that screenshot is the actual costume, that's all I'm going to say to that. I'm all going to say to that.
100% agree. I was like, he looks like a mummy. It's awful.
Long story long, rant over. I'm pumped. I feel like this is going to be, you know what? I feel like this is going to be $1 billion movie easily.
Yep.
And that's all I got to say about that, guys.
Easily. Yeah. I can't wait. I have a feeling it's going to be
neither.
Spider-Man movies by the time it's done.
I agree. So I'm officially done.
All right. Let us know what you think of the Spider-Man trailer, what you think of all these fan rumors. Okay. Is it Matt Murdock? Is it Lizard? Could be Venom, right, Chris?
No, it's not Venom.
It's not Venom. Damn, I really want to see Tom Hardy in here. But nevertheless, let us know what you think.
I think Tom Holland shows up in Venom 2, but I don't think Tom Hardy shows up in Spider-Man 3.
Interesting. Well, it'll depend on whether Venom 2 gets pushed back again or not, too.
Is it going to get pushed back, though, really?
Rumors going around that it's going to get pushed to January and Morbius is going to get bumped again. Because, you know, return of the COVID.
Hey. So, like, we're never going to see this movie?
Never. I feel really bad for Morbius. I think it's been bumped like 4 or 5 times now.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, this is ridiculously.
Yeah. Like, that was supposed to come out a year before Venom 2. Yeah.
And you know what the best part is that we'd be able to go to the theater if more people got vaccinated.
Yeah, that's true. But nope.
Yeah, why would you do that? Just spend money on a fake COVID passport.
Yeah. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, you can check us out right here on YouTube where you see our handsome faces. You can listen to this as a podcast on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can check us out at geekpantsmedia.com, where Chris and I barely ever write things, but you can see plenty of Mr. Chris Fedek.
But we talk about possibly writing stuff.
We talk a lot about possibly writing things.
And we don't.
But they're great
Ever.
Talks. They're great talks.
Yeah, it is great talks of what we may or may not do in the future. Anyways.
Anyway. Thank you, everyone.
Catch you later.